Be careful of it. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Lord Mayor, former Lord Mayor, Peter Maddock, the local member, and our own Queensland Tennis President, and just everybody who's here. I just want to thank you all for coming out. There's a lot of my family here and friends, people I played against, and you know, we have another US Open champion, Mel Anderson, here. I'd like to thank Mel and Daff for coming out too. Daff is actually Roy Emerson's sister, so it's very appropriate that Daff is here. So, but actually all of the things that Sally and Graham have said, you know, sort of doesn't leave me much to say, but this sort of, I think of this green being named after me. It's actually a tribute to my family, and I have, you know, one of my brothers and 3 of my sisters here today, and it's sort of a tribute to my family because we all grew up here playing the age titles, and we also played across at the junior centre, and my father used to take his holidays from work to come out and volunteer helping run the age titles, and then my mother and father used to volunteer on Saturdays over at the junior centre. So it's really a tribute to my family. I just happen to have the green named after me, you know. So. But no, I grew up playing here at Milton, the age titles, and on the ant bed courts. You know, they were ant bed then, and before the Milton Bowl was even over there in the corner. And then growing up as a teenager, Queensland Tennis would let the juniors play on the grass on a Saturday on the 2 worst grass courts, but it actually probably helped us play better tennis because we were prepared for anything and everything then. But then also coming back and playing a WTA tournament here in Brisbane, the National Panasonic, and winning it the first time that it was, the WTA tournament was played here. That was a real thrill for me to come back and see the people of Brisbane come out and support women's tennis. And just touching on something that Graham said about women athletes and so forth, we all need role models, you know, whether they're men or women. But, you know, when I was playing tennis, Frew Park now, I mean, when we used to play tennis here, I mean, you had so many great champions who played here. There was a lot of history here. I think 2 of my brothers ball-boyed for Davis Cup matches here. You know, and I came out and I watched Billie Jean King and Rosie Casals play. You know, who knew I was going to go out and play and win tournaments with them? You know, I didn't know that, but, you know, I came out and watched them play when I was a teenager. So it's fantastic. And then when this was no longer a tennis facility, every year I came back from the tour and I would drive by. I made a point of driving by Milton every year to see what was happening, and it was really, I felt awful every time I drove by and saw how derelict it was. And one time I was back, it was Anzac Day in 2000, and I went to my niece Cara's school for an Anzac Day celebration. And it was the day that the clubhouse caught fire here at Milton. And I sat next to an old returned soldier, you know, and he said, "Aren't you Wendy Turnbull?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Milton's burning." And I thought, oh, the grandstands are finally going. And it wasn't. It was the clubhouse. You know, you just naturally assumed a spark would have gone over to those stands and they would have caught fire, but no, it didn't. But when I came home and came out here in January last year, I was so thrilled to see what has been accomplished here. You know, I was happy that there's the Roy Emerson tennis courts, but when you look around at the playground and everything that's there for the children, you know, of all ages, and then there were people having barbecues, and there's people running around, and people had their dogs, and, you know, it was really being enjoyed by everybody. And I came out here a couple of times. I didn't just come once, you know. And it's fantastic. And, you know, I've had a couple of cappuccinos up in the clubhouse. And that, you know, it's tremendous. But these things just don't pop up overnight. You know, it takes the Lord Mayor and the approval of the City Council. It takes your local member, Peter Maddock, for encouraging things to be done here. So it's not just something that pops up. It costs money, but it's something that the whole, not just the local community can enjoy, but people from all over Brisbane and can come out and enjoy it. It's something for everybody. But also, there's one person I will point out, and everybody knows, it's Peter Racy. And I would hate to have played against Peter Racy on the tennis court because he's got such determination. He would have been an opponent you would have hated, but it would have been someone you would have respected because he doesn't give up. And so I would just like to say that this is truly an honour to be included in the trail and to be recognised as a Brisbane, Queensland person who accomplished something. And I hope that, you know, there are not only little girls but boys out there who might read one of the plaques, you know, that gives you the history of Frew Park and says, you know, oh, maybe I'd like to play tennis, maybe I can accomplish that, I have dreams. And we have to encourage our young Australians to have dreams, because when I was growing up, I, you know, had dreams of playing and winning at Wimbledon. But the Olympics, tennis wasn't part of the Olympics when I was growing up. And then at the end of my career, tennis became part of a medal-winning sport at the Olympics. One of the great things is, it's not just, you know, having won a bronze medal at the Olympic Games, but representing Australia in the Olympics. There's a saying, once an Olympian, always an Olympian, never past, never former. And that's very true, and it's a great honour to be considered to be an Australian Olympian. But it's also a great honour to have the Wendy Turnbull Green named after me, and I hope, you know, I can share this with my family, and just thank everybody who contributed, helped me with my tennis along the way, and I'd just like to thank you all for coming out today as well. So thank you.
We're now going to go and do, I was going to say the important part, but it's all been important, but the unveiling of the, not actually a plaque, but it's more than a plaque, the world's largest plaque perhaps. But anyway, if I can ask Wendy and Graham to wander over there, and there's Bernard waiting to be part of the unveiling, I'm sure. And we can all follow on and see this great thing happening. Thank you again everybody for being here this morning. And it is the world's largest plaque.
It is, very good. Little grandniece, Akira, here today. And Akira needs to be able to see that women can go out and accomplish things. You know, I wanted to be Prime Minister one day. So, no, but she